Hey guys, sending my greetings. About to advance more on the understanding of the Elliott Wave theory. So, uh, uh, I want to just progress from the last update, uh, moving on to analyze the type of corrections that we can actually be found in uh, the Elliott Wave pattern. As last we have explained that in an impulse or motive wave, we have wave one, and then we have wave two, and then we have wave three, and then wave four, and then a wave five. This is what we discussed. Rather, let me use this one. Wave one, two, three, four, five. So this is what we discussed. Just want to include the waves. This is what we discussed last, and now our focus mainly will be trying to focus on what happens between wave 2 and wave 4. So we'll be focusing about the type of patterns that form within wave 2 and wave 4 in the form of corrections, uh, and thereafter I think I'll do another video analyzing, you know, maybe furthermore upon them. But for now, I just want to focus on just giving the basics about the types of correction waves that can be found within an Elliott wave pattern. So the first to begin with is a zigzag pattern, which is a 535 uh, move. So in a zigzag move, whether it's impulsive or whether it's bullish or bearish, it will depend. We know that if it's bullish, then it's going to oppose the bullish movement. So in that situation, we're gonna have uh, our ABC, A, B, and then C. So, but according to our understanding, we know that an ABC can form in various ways. So in this situation, uh, to identify it as a zigzag, we say wave A has to be five five pattern unfolding, five move unfolding, and then wave B we need to see three waves, and then wave C we need to see another five waves. Then we can say or assume that whatever is unfolding it can be taken as an ABC flat, ABC zigzag. I mean to say. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, five wave pattern, and then we see ABC. I just want to make it clear for you guys. And then we see ABC, and then A, B, C, but at lower degree, as you know, guys. At lower degree, same color, so previous one, and then another wave, five wave move, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how we can tell that, you know, there is a potential of a zigzag pattern forming. And then what you can do to help you more further is the retracements, because when it's easy to see a pattern when it is finished forming, but when it comes to anticipation, I think that's the most complex part, to anticipate what is unfolding. So in this situation, we usually use the Fibonacci retracement tools. If you see a five wave move of wave A, then it is very much typical to see wave B traveling to the 61.8 level. And we have measurements actually to try and measure the length of wave A and wave C to anticipate when it finishes or when it has finished. So in this situation, the typical Fibonacci extension levels that are common for an ABC zigzag, as I've said, for the retracement and then the extension at 78.6, or it is typical to see wave C to travel 100% of wave A. Yeah, it is typical. Sometimes it can be overly overextend to 1.2 127.20, which is again most typical. But when it extends further to 1.618, then we disregard this one as A and this one as B, but we relabel it as 1 and 2. So yeah, let's move to, okay, maybe some few details. Wave B, it doesn't always have to be three waves. Sometimes you see wave B forming as a triangle. Sometimes wave B, it can form as a triangle or maybe as a complex correction. There are very many variables that can happen within wave B, and then again on wave A. If wave A is not an impulse move, but again it has to be a five-wave move. I talked with you guys about the leading diagonal and the ending diagonal. So again, it can happen like this, where you see wave 4 overlap, and then again we see wave C taking maybe an ending diagonal, a leading diagonal, and then an ending diagonal. So it can again happen like that, something that you need to be cautious about. And then we talk about the ABC flat. On the ABC flat, it is a type of correction. We have some variations even there. When you see wave B overlap like this, we know that this is an expanding flat. It has their characters. When you see an expanding flat like this, we understand that the next move is going to be very much efficient. It's going to be aggressive. And then we have a normal flat pattern, which usually maybe to traces around the 78.6 level or 75% level. Typically, that's how we can differentiate the flat patterns from usually zigzag patterns and the other patterns. But we can, yes, usually see a zigzag tested this. But what differentiates an ABC flat and an ABC zigzag? It's their formation. Uh, on the flat, it's very much contrary to what's happening to a zigzag. As you can see, on a zigzag it's 5.5, but when it comes to a flat it's 3.5. So what has to happen is that we need to see wave A forming as an ABC wave, and then wave B can take a shape of another ABC. It's fine, but it can again take the shape of a triangle, because again, guys, a triangle, it is a correction pattern. So one that always appears on the market. It always appears. So, and wave B of three waves, and then wave C of five waves. So wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then wave 5. So this is how a flat pattern will always form. There is no way you're gonna find a flat pattern forming in a five-wave move. It doesn't matter whether it's a diagonal or a motif. There is no way. But we can see wave C as an ending diagonal of a flat pattern, and we can see wave B as a triangle. So in this situation, just the typical Fibonacci retracement levels that you're going to be focusing on, the 78.6 is 1.8, maybe 50% level in situations of a triangle. These are the levels that you can expect when maybe you're anticipating a flat that you think maybe you can capitalize on the wave C. So these are the typical levels that you can use in the wave B retracement, and then to anticipate the wave C movement, we need to extend use our Fibonacci extension level. After applying our Fibonacci extension level, 78.6 is typical, 100% is typical, 102, 127.2 is very much typical because guys, some markets they are more aggressive than the other. So, but we what we understand is that no matter how crazy the market may be or wanna look like, it will always respect the parameters of uh, the rules of the Elliott Wave theory, regardless of what's happening. That's why we don't even look at the news because they're pointless to us. Whatever they're anticipating is what we have already anticipated. So yeah, guys, this is how you can anticipate a flat move and then move into a triangle. A triangle, guys, I very much enjoy spotting them because they have a very significant meaning behind them. Whenever you see a triangle, you know that uh, this is the last pattern of the move. This is like the last pattern of the move. It's easy. Once you see a triangle, you know that you are making money. This one, it's the easiest, the easiest. So yeah, guys, I talked to you about the typical formation of triangles where they can be found. Triangles, they can be found on wave 4, wave B. Triangles, they can be found. Um, Usually, it is said that they are found or they precede the last move of the pattern. So once you see a triangle, you know that the next move that has to happen, it is the final move. If the market was bullish and then you see a triangle, you know that um, a change of flow or a change of direction is about to happen because you've seen a triangle. If we see a triangle within maybe a zigzag pattern, we know that we need to see a final wave C. When we see a triangle within wave 4 of a pattern, we know that wave 5 will follow and then the trend will change. When you see a triangle within a complex correction or a flat correction, we know that after wave C, the market will change direction. So the typical levels to help you anticipate a triangle, the waves within the triangle, they can interchange. It doesn't matter what you find, but we know that we cannot find a triangle within the triangular moves. We can only find a triangle within the wave E. Hence, I've told you that they precede the final move of the market. So, with that being said, it doesn't matter the shape that they take, but it is very crucial to anticipate the internal waves of a triangle when it is unfolding. So the 78.6 is very typical in the 61.8 that the waves will overlap with that certain degree or that certain percentage. It is the percentage that the waves will overlap to an extent. If you see wave B extending 78.6 of wave A, then we expect wave C to anticipate again the 78.6 and wave D 78.6 again with E 78.6. So it's very much straightforward, and we have different types of triangle. We have a rugal triangle, we have an expanding triangle. So those are the two types of triangles, but either way, they just form the same thing. We understand that wave C doesn't overlap with A, those are the rules. With D will never overlap. With B, those are the rules. And with E will never overlap with C, those are the rules. So again, we need to speak about complex correction. I think that's about triangle patterns. They are not just that much complicated, and they are fun to spot. So when it comes to complex correction, we have just uh, various ones. We have the mix of just the whole patterns that we see here. Complex complex corrections, they're just WXY. Uh, this the first one. We have two types of complex corrections actually, WXY, and then we have WXY and ZXY, XZ. So yes, these are the two types of complex corrections that we have in the Elliott Wave um, content. So mm, W simply means a combination, or rather maybe a full pattern. It can either be a zigzag or a flat, a full corrective pattern. And then with X again, it's another pattern which can be either a triangle or a flat or a zigzag. And then with Y again, it has to be a pattern. It can either be a zigzag, a flat. It can never be a triangle, and it can never be a motive wave. Because once it becomes a motive wave, then we change the whole scenario from being a complex correction. Because the letters of W, X, and Y, they represent a fully formed pattern, corrective pattern. So it's not like a singular part of it, but no, it has to be a complete pattern. And then again, W, X, Y, X, Z, the very same thing. So in this situation, when we see W, X, and Y, we know that Y will never form the same pattern as X. We need to see a variety there. We know that if W is a zigzag, we can anticipate that Y can be something else different. So that's how it goes. There is no way that we can find a zigzag of W and find a zigzag of Y. Find a flat of W and then find a flat on Y, then find a flat. No, there is no way. So it has to be varieties. That's how the market moves. On a more complex correction, the axis, we know that they will vary. The very same thing that I told you guys on the motive wave between wave 3 and wave 4. It is the very same thing. So again, on complex correction, it's just the mixture of patterns A, B, C. We can see A, B, C. Maybe here we can see, or maybe have a triangle. And if like guys, you do get what I was trying to say right now to you about triangles, you will understand that naturally that there is no way. Okay, let me change this one. That there is no way that in a more complex correction that we can find this x to be a triangle, because I told you that this one will precede the final move of a certain pattern. So if we find a triangle here, it means that we revise the final move. But yes, we can find a triangle here because that it is indeed the final move which was preceded by the wave x. So in this situation, again, we gonna have another pattern of A, B, C. But remember, if this one is a flat, then this one has to be a zigzag. Again, the very same thing which occurs again and again and again within the interior parts. So, guys, to use my Fibonacci tools, I just wanna measure them to help you guys understand how we anticipate wave X. Wave X is 1.8 and 78.6, just a typical measurements, but there is no way that we can find X overlapping the start of wave W. So yeah, it's just to keep it around 61.8, 78.6, even 50% level. It's applicable, guys. You need to be cautious about it. So, and then the extension. This was the retracement, and then the extension. Uh, I hope you see the pattern. The more like I use these Fibonacci levels, the more you see the pattern within them. At 78.6 is typical, 100% is typical, and 1.27 is typical. 1.618, nah, it's too much. Just about here. The very same thing, guys. 78.6, 100, to use to measure these legs. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. I think I will share more as we go on, more updates and more clarity about the market. So yeah, guys, you have a good trading week, and I hope this will be helpful to you all.